Over here at a quartz area. These pieces of quartz are face stones. They have long noses. Lots of times there's color for the eye. This site where we're at right now is a shaman site. This looks like a big T. You can see that this is a crystal statue. There are tons of these all around this site right here. I'm not going to disturb them too much. You can see all this milky white crystal, this very white, good quality crystal covering this entire area here. Large blocks of it. There's some large face statues here. This one is upside down. And this entire pile here in this area is just full of the quartz. This is the right side profile fellow with the hat. Notice how he has a round head. There's also a left side portrait. And also a bird with the left side beak and the crest. He still has his clay pack in his eye. And if you look closely into that eye, you'll be able to see the details, actual carvings, and it's made to look like an eye, as if there's a Play-Doh eye placed on top of this. You can see this. This is one of the things that I try to show you guys, because seeing it for yourself out here, you can really see that something's going on. If it weren't for these clay pack eyes that were on some of these statues, I wouldn't have believed it either. That crest turns into a profile image. So we are at the shaman site, so we're going to be placing these back. We're not taking anything from here. As I've said before, there's a possibility that these are burials. I know that I'm not going to go digging in here to try to find out. So probably encompasses an area of 20 by 20. Very rarely will we find arrowheads out here. It's mostly just these effigies. Just like you guys see when I bring them home. The same motifs here of the bird, little carvings. You can see the carving for the eye right there, the circle of this small little bird effigy made of sandstone. We're walking around the border of it right now. Seems to be about where it ends. You can see all the crystal up on the top there. All right. Kind of a wash today for the creek. The construction site, as I've said before, has been so poorly managed that all the clay and sediment from the rains is making it into the waterways here and causing flooding. the local landowners are pretty PO'd about it. They don't want their streams destroyed, which I can understand. So, ran into a couple deer earlier. That was fun. I think they scared me more than I scared them. But feels good to be back out. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Oftentimes there are other stone mounds, but that was the first one that I found that was all crystal. So that was kind of a unique one. I'll go down to the creek here and show you guys it. This perhaps is another site here. There's some bird heads coming out right here. I'll see all these scratches and marks on these. Sorry. And there's a big X on this one, as you guys can see. X marks the spot at this site. All the artifacts have defined X's right in the middle of them. I don't know what the purpose of that was for. Maybe just to let people know what tribe they were coming from. This is the man with the bird hat on. The top of his hat is a bird. He also has the extended nose. So what happens with him is he's a bird this way, and as you tilt him, he becomes a regular person with little lips that stick out. You can see that crystal nose when you put him like this. And if you look where that nose is, if you look above it, you will see the carving for the eye with lashes and lines and everything in it. Are you guys seeing that? The eyes don't lie. The eyes don't lie. Every little piece out here, down to the smallest little ones, are going to be little effigies, little ceremonial pieces. Another bird with the right side beak. It's a common motif. That one that can stick in the ground almost like a little miniature totem. It's an interesting piece. May have looked at this one. Interesting. Those sandstone pieces are very light. Looks like some acorns. Some squirrels have been around. Squirrely squirrels. Don't like disturbing the ones that are up here. I don't want to pull things out of the ground. Even though they're on the surface, I just like to leave them. Where I pull my artifacts are from the river. Sorry, I'm having to duck down to make it through this. But in the creek, that's where I collect, because that's where the painted artifacts are. And that's where they are at risk of being destroyed. They're fine and safe in the ground up here. Nothing's gonna happen to them for now. But the ones that are inside of this creek, something's gonna happen with them. And I want you guys to also look around here. This is the creek here. If you can look right here, you see how deep we actually are. So there's a huge ridge here, and on the other side, there's a huge ridge as well. There's a possibility that this was a river a long, long time ago, because we're in a valley right now that is about 80 feet in the ground, which is probably why I'm able to find this stuff here. I've talked to TOA, the other artifacts, before, and on his videos even, he talks about how sometimes people just aren't digging deep enough. And he digs for a living, so he knows when you go deep, 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 that's when you start finding these archaic and old points. Look at that washout right there. So as you can see, not much going on in the creek today. There's a hunting stand right there. So probably need to move over a little bit. I'm not sure exactly where I'm at right now. I am wearing my safety orange jacket so that I do not get mistaken for a deer. But here in North Carolina, they might not care if I'm a deer or not. They might just see me on the wrong side of the creek. People out here, you know, people everywhere sometimes. You run into the wrong one. There's a lot of psychopaths, you know. What is it, 1 out of every 5 people? A lot of crazy mofos. Usually, the people who are like that have never had to do anything as far as take another person's life before. The true test, right? The true test of strength and power is knowing when to spare life. I think that was in The Hobbit. The wizard told that to Frodo, or to the Hobbit. It wasn't Frodo. It was whatever the Hobbit's name was. He gave him the little sword. Clay pile. Let's go ahead and look over here at these mounds, little hills. There's little lumps everywhere. All the lumps have effigies in them. So look at this thing. Just a pile of clay. And stone. We're gonna head back up this way. This is some area that I haven't been in before, and I have permission to be in certain parts of this area, but I may have gotten off my trail a little bit. So I'm gonna head back to where I'm safe, because they do shoot out here. I've had one friend that part of the indigenous group that's out here. He's the only other person right now, other than Slingblade, that knows where the site is. And he was out here. And I've got to give special direction, and this site is very important, so I don't let just anyone come out here without getting some kind of guidance from me. There's certain things that you can do, certain places you can go, and there's certain things that we don't want to do. So anyway, he was out here and I was kind of guiding him, taking some pictures and showing me some things, and I got a text that gunshots, I'm leaving. And that happened the last time that we were out here too, together. So this looks like some modern wreckage, perhaps. Definitely some building materials and some wood out here. It's really nice out today. It's a little bit chilly, which is perfect to be moving around in. Lots of quartz. Lots of face effigies. You see the left side portrait with the open mouth. And then there's an interior portrait as well. There's a birdman. Here's another one. Every single one of these is one big white pieces of milky crystal. Let's go ahead and come up top and take a look. On the top of these, it's fun because you can really, a lot of times, see pretty far, even though you're in the woods. Let's take a look at this one. Let me go ahead and zoom back out. Sorry about the camera not being in, or the piece not being in frame there. You guys are seeing the profile on the right. Using this eye right here. It's dug in and carved in. There's also a smaller one down here. So you can see when you tilt this how it becomes a perfect portrait or a face. I mean, I'm not just that great at this that I can just pick up a random rock on the top of a hill somewhere and just show you exactly where they are. The thing is that every single one of these is one. And there's motifs, repeating patterns, such as these hats, so that when you learn the art, you can spot these out very quickly. Tips for learning the art. Keep the effigies in your kitchen or in your living room. Put them on a table, just keep them around. Familiarity. That's how I learned how to see it. That red in there, that's very pretty. Wow, that's a big old bird. I think, yeah, this way. It's the long-nosed As we talked about before, there are still indigenous tribes that make these long-nosed characters. It's a bird on the right-hand side as well, with his white beak. Just the small white beak you see there, recessed. You poke the beak out. You can see the eye right above the beak. And then the polish, the person with the big nose. Here we are here with the headdress. You can see the clay pack and the ridge in there for his eye. Tilt him to the left side portrait. And you can see how he's all tucked in with a large square headdress on. Looking at just this surface image here, you can see the eye carved in right here, the nose, and then the mouth right there. I should be using my other hand. I've messed up my elbow on my left hand pretty bad with the last on-site videos. You can see the 3D nose sticking out and the red eye. The cheekbones. This, which I am standing on, is probably a site, and so I'm gonna go ahead and move on. So this is what you find out here in the woods when you come out here. This is what you see. Piles of crystal. Why are all the crystals piled up in this little town of Graham, North Carolina? We don't have crystals. We don't even have mountains. The mountains are over in Boone. There's not large quartz deposits like this. I get out in nature a lot. I grew up in Florida and in Tennessee. Oh, there's another one. You know, these little mounds out here. Kind of interesting to find all these mounds out here in the woods. And then when you see the construction site there with the ridgetop mound, which, by the way, ridgetop mounds are unique to Cahokia. Ridgetop mounds aren't usually found in other places other than in Cahokia. It's supposed to be a Cahokia special. Only found there. I believe that because of all the birdmen that we're finding out here, that the people from Cahokia, or maybe the earlier culture, came down here for ceremonial purposes, to get rid of the, to get out of the bad weather sometimes. This was a spot of theirs. Very interesting to see all these piles of clay just bunched up in different areas. You would think if this was a field 100, 200 years ago, which I know it wasn't because we've checked the Google map history, this land has remained undeveloped since the beginning of our colonialism. It's never been touched. I've had other people dig into that further for me. And this area has not been developed, but even say that I was wrong and the people who are doing my research are wrong. That sounded weird, not doing my research, doing the common goods research, the research for all of us. But even if they were all wrong and I was wrong, you gotta think logically. If that was cleared out for a field or something, it wouldn't just be in piles like that 30 feet from each other. There wouldn't be, it would have been pushed all the way over to the side. Everything would be pushed over. Rocks don't have legs. They can't walk on their own. These rocks that are here, they're from all over the world. Arctic chert. It's from Antarctica. You can't get that stuff here. Black obsidian stuff that I have. Shiny black flint rock. That stuff's not here. Look at the soil reports. The soil reports will tell you what is here. There's granite here. Lots of granite. But they're not supposed to be in the shape of faces. Here's another large mound. Look at this thing. It's huge. You joking my butt. Oh my gosh. So on the site, before they actually built the houses, there were several of these as well. You can see the trees growing on top of this mound. This looks like a conical style. You can see, let's go ahead and climb up top of it. Nice crystals, and I can already see the effigies right down there, the little tiny itty bitty ones. Here we are, on top of another mound. Look at this. It's only a small mound. It's probably about 20 feet by 10 feet. Maybe 15 by 15, let's say. I don't know, you guys be the judge. Never developed. Mound after mound after mound. Huge ridge top mound. Holes everywhere. How'd the holes get there? Well, if you learn about Ohio and Cahokia, Moundville, all those places, you'll know that when they dig these holes to build these mounds, a lot of times they create small little lakes. The dirt from that mound more than likely came from this spot. And that's why there's a hole there now. I'm gonna follow this deer trail, or this animal trail here. You can see why that hunting stand was out there. There are deer all up over here. It's the land of the deer people. There's some of the construction equipment over there, so we're pretty close to the site. If you guys ever come down to the site, if you find out where it is, without me telling you where it is, please do be respectful of it. Try not to destroy things and surface gather only, because I do know all the property owners here. And so if anything funny starts going on around here, we'll find out. Just want to keep everybody accountable. I'm a little nervous about it. Get more of them. They're all over here. Interesting. We should be running into the other creek soon. So when you look through the maps of North Carolina, you know, you go now down near Indiantown Creek Mound, which is the only mound that our state recognizes here in the state. You'll notice that there are little holes, little tiny lakes everywhere in the middle of the woods. There are mounds throughout this whole state. South Carolina and Virginia All the states bordering us have mounds all over them. North Carolina only has the one, right? Yeah. Well, manifest destiny. I mean, they're still behind pretty bad here in Graham. As I've said before, we still have the Confederate soldier at the courthouse. Just to let you know. Just to let you know what side they were on. Okay. We still have like race rallies out here. We got white supremacist people and Black Lives Matter people all fighting. Graham made the national news a couple years ago when they came out and pepper sprayed everybody at the Black Lives Matter rally. They bought the pepper spray 2 weeks in advance, tons of it. And they basically just trapped everybody in the town square and told them to get out, even though they were supposed to have a march and it was all agreed upon and everything. They changed the rules on them and just started spraying everybody. They called it because they were blocking traffic. It was an orchestrated effort. The whole thing's on video. My friends, an older black lady who's in a wheelchair, got pepper sprayed in the face. She's got lawyers now, so don't worry about her. Hopefully she'll be getting paid. But this is a backwards ass area, I'll tell you that right now. I'm really glad I'm not in this county anymore. Cops. Let's talk about the police in the area. They hired the guy from Greensboro who got fired from Greensboro because he killed a guy. This is his second time killing somebody. First time he did it, he didn't kill the first guy. He shot at the car. Shot at a car that was driving away from him at a gas station. It wasn't after like any kind of altercation or anything. I don't think he hit him. He got in trouble for it. And then he got in trouble for hog tying a guy. And I think that guy ended up dying. That was the first one. So yeah, he's not good enough for Greensboro, which if you don't know, it's about an hour away. It's the next adjoining town. It's that headdress guy again. But he wasn't good enough for Greensboro, so Graham's like, heck yeah, we'll take him. We'll go ahead and take your killer. And I ran into that guy. Yep. Try to remember his name, but when I ran into him in my car, I have veteran plates on my car, and I was up at the Sheets, and it's 88, so it's old. And he told me that I didn't look like a veteran, that I didn't act like a veteran, and that I stole the car. And where did I get this car from? That's what he told me. Now there's some good cops here in Graham too. Officer Wood is all right. He's come down here to the site when I've been out here at the construction site when somebody called the police on me for picking up rocks. He came out and I told him, yeah, I'm just picking up rocks. He's like, oh, well, there's nothing wrong with that. And then he wanted to see my ID. And I told him I wasn't going to give him the ID because I wasn't breaking any laws and I wasn't trespassing. You can't solicit a trespass, right? We all know that. Property owner doesn't complain, then they have no jurisdiction. They have no right to, you can't make up a complaint. So a complaint has to be from the property owner. And he was all right about it. He ran my tag. I told him when he ran my tag that nothing was going to come up. He's like, how'd you know that? I told him about the situation. And he said probably what a lot of you guys were thinking. He says, oh, what does a veteran look like? Exactly. What does a veteran look like? So, most people don't like it here. Most minorities don't like it here. I mean, if you're white and you don't give a damn how they treat other people, then hell, this is your place. But if you have any kind of moral compass, you'll realize real quick what the hell's going on out here. And you'll book it. You'll run like hell. I like this spear point. I picked it up a few times, but I never take it. I just like it. I just think it's fucking, you know, you stick that right in the middle of a stick, haft it on there. Ain't nobody gonna mess with you with this thing. You crazy? The sharp edge on that thing. It's a giant gateway style piece. This big square right here. It's huge. It's a big headdress person. So many other things too, but the easy one to see is the recessed face. Look at all the surface images, more than likely a bird right here. Wow. It's a really pretty one, but what am I gonna do with this? I can't take all these. These are painted pieces of white quartz. They're very special. There's another recessed face version. Worthy of note, in case you guys haven't seen this before, every single one of these lithics, every single one, has been touched by human hands. Every single piece. What I want to look at, see there's an empty spot right there. This is an effigy set. The other ones next to it are probably part of it as well. But there are faces and carvings inside of these. And the one, when we were doing the filming, is one that I pulled out and I put to the side. And I want to find that one right now. And I believe it's this one. But I can't be too certain. I think it's that one. Let's take a look. It's hard to say if this is the one or not. I believe it is. But, oh no, I think it's that one. Oh well. You guys are seeing these markings and things on here. We can go ahead and get to the small stuff. Looking at some little ones. Let's go ahead and see what the neighbors brought me for tools. They're all still the same. It's like they're all pretty much still the same out here. We got a couple more. Yeah, I left a couple gateways out here last time for them to look at. Nice pieces of quartz. These are all the little pistol. Sorry. They're also little, I'm sure, bird effigies or something, but they're, oops, they look like tools. Very many shaped kind of exactly the same with these little picks. Well, digging implements or something. See what I mean? Totems, totem men. The carving for his eye right there. You can see the carving very well. It's very small. These are tiny statues. Gotta have an eye for detail. Which, if you guys have been hanging out this long, I know you do. I know you've got those eyes of the ancients. Well, let's go ahead and try to name off everybody on the featured channels list right now. So of course, Paleo Mountain Man, he's first on there. You know, he's no longer with us, but he's got a whole collection of videos in there. Very spiritual stuff. We got Sling Blade, Paleo Stone Hunter. We've got Chris Penny, who's been doing this for quite a while. He's working on a documentary himself. We've got Ontario at Orion. She's up in Canada, of course. She does like an ASMR-ish kind of video, and her eyes are extremely good. She's probably one of the people that can see the best out of all of us. And I'm not just saying that because she's a girl, but I'm saying that because it's true. You could watch her videos and see she can pick out the feathers and the flowers and the things in the hair. It's pretty amazing. And she studies it too. That's what happens when you start seeing this stuff. It takes over your life. You know, I'm pretty comfortable in my career. I'm pretty successful. And this thing is just completely taken over my life. I got rocks all in my house, all in my garage. I know people have got boxes and boxes full of them. Right? It's because they know. Look at all that silt and sediment that's made it into here. This creek has gotten so much wider. It's amazing. That water should not be like that color. It's really just from the construction site. It's not so bad over here. It's cleared up quite a bit on this side, but inside of this creek, there are photorealistic portraits of humans. This is the creek that I found the girl statue at. Many of the gateways come from this very spot. Look down there and see them. So what we'll do is we'll walk around here. Maybe try to find a little shallow area where we can get down and look at some more rocks. I know that there's no one back here right now because the birds are all flying out from their spots as I walk by them. You guys know how back in the day people used to track animals? They could just look into the woods and track a deer, right? I mean, you can leave a blood trail if you shoot one, but people were able to just look at sticks and things. Do you think any of us could do that nowadays? There's levels to this thing. There's levels to life, levels to being human and being one with nature. There's a lot of things that are lost to us today. So I'm glad that we're growing this community of open-minded individuals who realize that and know that, hey, there's some stuff going on that we don't exactly know about. Look at that portrait there with the left. Geez, I'm sorry about the camera, but there's a nice portrait there with the left side profile with the eye and everything in there, the nose and the mouth right here, the rest of this being here. As I said, every single one of these is an effigy. Oftentimes they have this headdress on. You can see the eye and the recessed face with the pointy little hat. What's this, Passion? What's up with that right angle? So yeah, Passion on Fire, RLJ Frog Pond. We've got, who else? We've got Americana Palm started to show some things. We've got Let the Stones Lead the Way. She started to show some things as well. Look at this carving for this eye right here. This is a headdress person again, right side profile. See the hair, the hairline, that carved in eye. Not seeing any of the other features really necessarily right now, but that's okay. We've got Mike Turo rocks down in Florida. He's got conglomerate pieces and cement style pieces and some stones as well. He pulls it all up from his backyard. He's living on some kind of ancient site. Some ancient Tuscarora site, perhaps. We've got city rock hounding. He's showing his artifacts. We've got our other friend out there in New York, Seven Rocks. Oh, there's a deer. I heard him jump. Seven Rocks is a beautiful person as well. All the people that really get into this stuff end up being really nice, except for one of them, but he seems to be going through some crap. And I don't understand why. He's got everybody's phone numbers. Who else is out there? There's one guy, Redneck Archaeology. He hasn't posted anything in a while, I don't think. There's a few other people though as well, guys, so check out the featured channels, not the subscriptions. The subscriptions are all public too. Everybody I subscribe to, it's public. But the featured channels are the ones that do this rock art. I think the title of it is We All Have Eyes of the Ancients. That's what I named my booth when I rented the booth at the Mind, Body, and Spirit Expo. Look at that face down there on that crystal. Boop. Bing, bing, bing. You see it? Left side portrait. I ain't going down there for it. There's a triangle head archetype right there. I gotta go down for that though. Let's see. Yeah. Yes, see the thing about the triangle head archetype, it's got a very defined large eye. As you can see, the rounded eye right here. It's got a little crack for the lip and it has a top right tab. So this could be the alien head, some people think. Look around that eye. You can see the lashes and the lines and things for it. Aliens are not that foreign to indigenous populations, guys. If you know about the Navajo still are into the aliens. Not every indigenous tribe is, but we've given you, I think, enough information to get started if you really wanted to find out about indigenous thoughts on aliens. Look to the Navajo tribe. They got you covered. I'll tell you all about it. If you guys see something, stop me, okay? So much. What we're really liking is these quartz pieces. These statues. Oftentimes with bird hats on. Really need to be using my other hand. Let me go ahead and flip. I'm not trying to mess up my elbow again. beautiful quartz. It's a big old bird, more than likely. Jeez, I'm not sure which way it exactly goes. A little fat bird head, maybe? Wow, it's a really pretty one. See his mohawk? Left side portrait, right? Those little carvings and stuff in there for his eye. Do you see his very large round? See all the carvings in this circle here? It's pretty large. Start to see all these details. How this eye has got little lashes and things. See the little lashes coming down from it? Do you see the third eye? It's a triangle like this, and then the eye's inside there. It's a portrait for the right side profile as well. You can see all the scratches and lines in it. Again, that X. Here we are with another character with a hat with that long nose. Eyes pretty much in the same spots there. He also has a ridge eye. You can see there, very lifelike. See how the eye is under the ridge. This is the Birdman. You can see how his beak is round. Getting closer in there, you can see those X's and markings on his nose. He is the Birdman, like this, and he transforms into a regular person. This is a very beautiful piece of history. This is indigenous art. There's a piece of pottery that is being washed away. We have quite a few of these at the house, and whenever I see a pottery piece, I try to pick it up because of that. They will all be destroyed. And as you can see, this is already falling apart. So this is a fired cement effigy, which is now broken. So I think I might go ahead and, this might be the one piece that I take with me today. I'm not wanting to take a bunch of stuff. So I'll go ahead and put it up on the trail. And if I find it, I find it on the way back. And take a look for bird heads. You'll see tons. Just more of these little characters. You can see, of course, his nose sticking out. And you look closely in the shine there, you'll see a circle for his eye. Right about there. Sorry about the horrible pointing and throwing my finger in front of the camera like that. I have a bird head with a right side beak. More than likely. There we go. Let's go ahead and look for some, change gears and see if we can find some cool birds. Here's a pretty cool bird with its recessed beak. See how the beak is recessed there? And then if you look right here, you'll see the carving for the eye. And I'll move it around a little bit so you can see it. It takes different distances, but you can see how the beak is recessed. You see the line for the recession. This is a bird effigy. You can see the portraits beginning to show up here on the top edges. And looking closely where that eye should be, you'll see the round remnants of paint, especially when you tilt it. This is the way it works. You tilt the art, if I can get it in the sun. Ah, there we go. And I just put my knee in the stream. Very neat one. Got lots of pretty ones out here. Lots of duck heads and bird heads and things. Let's go ahead and get some better light here. Every single one of these is one. Here's another one. Tell me what you guys think about this one. Ooh, look at that hole. Nice. Oh, look at the bird. So, wow. The beak on the top, and then the bird with its crest. So, I wish I could point a little better, but hopefully you guys are seeing it. It's on the top edge there. There's a carving for his eye. And when you tilt it like that, you can see how it becomes the bird. With the crest, top edge is going to have things as well. You'll really get lost in these. You'll notice too, whenever you pick one up in one area, you'll see a lot of the same motifs. This was a pilgrimage site where the people from the same... That's okay. That's me. That's a pretty cool one. A large one. See the spot for the bird's eye there. More than likely that spot is going to represent the bird's eye. So the bird, left side beak. And now this is modern. So is that clay pot. So look at this big plaquette sitting in here. Oh, look at that. It's just like the other one I have. It's the same style. This was like a big dish. I've got the other piece of this. I've got the look at the X's and markings on it. It actually does have profile images and stuff. This is the second one of this that I have. Or that I found. I'm not gonna bring this one home. I'll keep it here for later, but that, I don't think that's modern, because it might be. I'm not sure. I don't think it is. I don't think it's modern. I've got one at the house already, a piece just like that. I think that was just one of the styles out here. So, yeah, as I've said, I know a lot of the people out here. I've met them and their families. And we all kind of keep an eye on everything. Some nice face stones there. This is the area where I found the giant bird. Very defined. Big bird that I had for a while. It looks like a hatchet. I couldn't figure out what it was, and I flipped it over. It's a beautiful bird. Very beautiful. Look at that big old eye carved into that thing. So that stone right there, facing, you know, trying to face it the right way, it'll have a left side profile for you. With that big eye carved in right there. So, yeah, right here in this spot is where I found that one bird. I'll go ahead and show you guys the dinosaur rock real quick. I was just talking to the fella about. I probably won't be able to get to it. It might be underwater, but it's back here. Yeah, a lot of flooding going on. Oh, I think that dinosaur rock is going to be covered. That creek is just way too deep. Amazing, we could have walked through this before. All right, that's it. I'll talk to you guys later.